in the education sector, and with the new teaching materials and the methods. And the third important area is the enhancing the relevance, and the relevance comes with the ability and the networks to assist the government in an area where it is traditionally weak, namely providing education and training that is relevant to the economy. And the fourth area is the reaching the last mile, and the mile that is the achieving the major challenges which comes in the civil society groups, and by creating awareness in the education sector. And coming to the challenges which I have taken for this PPP in education are the low level capacity for implementing PPPs in education is one challenge, and the second one is the cost of contracting. The private sector are high relative to the scope and the size of the potential partnership project. And the third challenge is the education is seen as a non-commercial activity. That is the biggest challenge which is considered as the biggest challenge in education. And the next challenge is the partners all have different aims, as our earlier speakers discussed, like combining two different groups with two different objectives is the difficult task, and for which the partners will have different aims, the constituencies, and the ways of working. The working nature will also be somewhat differs from each other, and these are the challenging tasks. And coming to the some of the evidences and the impact of PPPs in education which are observed in different countries are the first one model I have taken is the outsourcing of school management, and which we can observe in Latin American countries. The program will be called as FYA schools. And the second model is the government purchasing programs, which we can observe in the Colombia. And the next model is the voucher programs. And the voucher programs, you can see the private school more likely to complete 8th grade, and their scores on standardized tests increased by 2/10 of a standard deviation, and which we can see in UGF programs. And the next model is the school infrastructure partnerships, which we can see observe in National Audit Office in the UK. And these are the some models which are being implemented in foreign countries, and they have been succeeded. And coming to the factors which made this PPPs as a success is I have observed some factors, and those factors is, first factor is the need. And the need, as we know, like to enhance the education sector, the public and the private partnership came to an agreement and a contract, and they have been working on it to improve the education. Still, we can compare, when we compare the state level education rates, still some illiteracy is there. Still, the education has to reach to the rural India. For that, these two parties are working on it. And the second one is the ownership. As we know, whenever the partners are coming together, they definitely try for get the domination. And this is the second factor. Being competition, it promotes healthy competition. And the third factor is the impact. And the impact we can see which effects of change in the education sector. And the next factor is the accountability. And these are the some factors what I have observed for the success of this PPP. And I would like to give some glimpses of this list of PPP projects undertaken by the Indian government. I'll just give in some statistics. That is the development of site belonging to District Central Library at Visakhapatnam, which is the investment of 25 crores, and the implementing agencies Infrastructure Corporation of AP. And next is Indira Gandhi Center for Advanced Research on Livestock, which is in Pulivendula, Kadapa district, and the investment is for 386 crores, and the implementing agency is AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation Limited. And these are the some programs which are being implemented in AP. And I would like to present my conclusions next, like what I have observed by studying all these statistics of different states in India. Among all the states, Andhra Pradesh has undertaken 7 projects with an investment of 1429.72 crores, which includes 4 projects under school education, 2 infrastructure, and 1 project under employment training. And next, Assam has undertaken 1 project under technical education with an investment of 40 crores. And next, Haryana has undertaken 5 projects under school education with an investment of 125.83 crores. And Madhya Pradesh has undertaken only 1 project with an investment of 52 crores. And whereas Maharashtra has undertaken 7 projects, which includes 6 for municipal corporation and 1 for district education with an investment of 115.63 crores. And Orissa has undertaken 1 project with an investment of 93 crores, which is implemented by IDCO Orissa. And Punjab has undertaken 4 projects, which includes 3 under technical and 1 under tourism with an investment of 160 crores. And coming to the conclusion of my paper.
Tourism education.
Sir?
Tourism or tourism education?
They are promoting tourism education and promoting the education, and from that they are creating employment. Yeah.
We are just interested in finding out TPP in education, but there is very scant information on that. So that's why you said tourism. I just wanted to check tourism education or tourism.
Tourism education. Yes. And these are some of the conclusions what I have found with my paper. And, thank you very much for the organizers for providing me this opportunity.
Now we have the last paper, Dr. Gyan Prakash Yadav, PPP in Higher Education of India.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chairperson of the dais and dear colleagues. Myself, Dr. Gyan Prakash Yadav from UP Rajarsi Tandon Open University, Allahabad. My topic is Public-Private Partnership in Higher Education of India. In this paper, I have discussed the scenario of the Indian higher education system and why the need is required for the private players and which model we can follow and what could be the impact of that. So first of all, I discussed with the present position of Indian higher education system. The higher education plays a varied and complex role in development. This ensures genuine, indigenous and sustainable development. India has the largest education system in the world with respect to number of institutions. India's education sector has grown enormously and has expanded into the 3rd largest higher education system in the world after the United States of America and China. Actually, sir, the models are already discussed with the earlier speakers. So I will repeat again, this is the position of the need of the PPP. Why the need of the higher education in the PPP in higher education? In 2006, higher education enrollment was 10.5 million students, of which over 7 million attended private institutions. According to FICCI, demand for higher education is growing at 20% a year, while the supply of higher education is growing at just 11% a year. This demand-supply gap provides opportunity for private higher education institutions with vast potential. The Government of India aims to raise the gross enrollment ratio in higher education from its present level to 30% and also plans to increase the role of the private sector in higher education. The estimated size of the Indian education and training market is about $40 billion with a potential 16% 5-year compounded annual growth rate. The market size of higher education is projected to expand in next 10 years up to $115 billion. The government of India in the 12th five-year plan has increased the proposed investment in education up to 1,84,740 crores rupees, which is 4 times higher than that of the 11th five-year plan. And the Planning Commission recognized that even that much amount of funds for education sector would not sufficient the growing need of higher education, has identified the resource gap of about 2.2 trillion rupees in higher education sector. This gap cannot be fulfilled by the government, as the finances of the government are already restrained and by some indicators are in worse condition than that were in 1991, 90 and 91, just before the balance of payment crisis. According to Bloomberg Business Week, achieving this target would require an additional 6,000 universities and 35,000 colleges over the next 12 years. Public-private participation is an approach made under which services are delivered by the private sector, while the responsibilities for providing the resources rest with the government. This is the definition given by government. And the public-private partnership, according to World Bank Public-Private Partnership Database, though India has the 5th highest value of public-private participation of any developing country, it is still one of the...
You have not read well, because 51% of GDP is spent only on education, which means you are not taking
Public-private partnership, I'm talking about.
8% of GDP, you said?
I didn't read that.
8%.
I didn't read that, sir. I'm reading the first one. I'm coming on that. In India, public-private participation accounts for only about 8% of GDP, while in it is 51%.
It is only 3.8% of the GDP in all education. 8% is a wrong number.
Oh, sir, it's I took this.
6% we have not crossed. I think everybody remembers that long ago 6% was proposed.
This report is taken by, sir. I just take the data from the report.
Wherever you have collected, you have not read it well.
Sir, it is maybe, sir, maybe I'm
You remember that
public.
everybody said that Kothari Commission recommended 6% of GDP to be spent on education. And
No,
we
it's
have
not.
go far.
It's not the expand on the education, sir. It's a public-private partnership percentage. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about the how much percentage of GDP we are investing on the education.
Education पर आप करिए concentrate.
So the models, I think
ये slide आपकी education की है.
these models are discussed earlier.
ऐसे करेंगे तो कैसे फिर हम education पर करना है?
Yes, sir. I was talking about the public-private partnership percentage.
Just again, 51% अगर just on PPP participation, then what else? I mean, then all private and public together, expenditure, all kind of consumption expenditure, that is only 49% in Argentina. Is it possible?
Selected from the net. So these are the models. I think these are you have discussed already. So I'm not going to repeat these one. So benefits of public-private partnership. The benefits could be in the form of the access, quality assurance, saving in resources, promote autonomy. These are 4, and then the conclusions. We can promote the public and private partnership for the betterment of Indian higher education system, but there are some problems in front of the nation, and they are neutralizing the effort, and we are still far away with the optimum results in this problem. Corruption is the main issue, which could be is the big drawback. Therefore, it is required to make the provision to stop the corruption in country, which will be helpful to provide the benefits of public-private partnership. Any model or a combination of models can provide the objective and targets of the higher education, but there is the need to do the efforts with honesty and dedication. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Yadav. Your field is education?
Is my is I'm assistant professor in management department.
Management?
Yes.
Management should know some economics. But anyway, you
Actually, even sir, I just take it from the net. Maybe I am wrong, sir.
what I'm saying, first you start doubting.
Yes,
That
sir.
is social science practice.
Yes, sir.
And then I will check with others.
Yes, sir.
Confirm.
Okay.
That is how
I'll remember,
You
sir.
are developed like
I'll
that.
do, sir. I'll do in the future,
If
but
you start with doubting,
yeah, sir.
some odd numbers come here. Comfortable नहीं feel कर रहा हूँ. Am I understanding it well?
Actually, sir, I was making the proposal for the RUSA in our university, and that's why I get the data, and I just okay, sir.
You have a long way to go.
Yeah, sir.
Otherwise, your material material is very good.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Thanks,
You have
sir.
tried to make a case for PPP.
Yes, sir.
Maybe in higher education, not that much, but something of that kind. And all, I mean,
We are still, sir, working some such type of work, sir. We are,
but such irritants,
yes,
one
sir.
single irritant
8% of
demolishes everything.
high number.
आपने बहुत सारे नंबर लिखे हैं, उनको थोड़ा कैलकुलेट, जीडीपी है कितनी, तो इससे सब अंदाज लग जाएगा.
GDP का percentage. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Gyan Prakash. I think are there questions? And please address the question to the paper presenter. And may I ask, I mean, there are 4 chairs. Some of you could come here.
Yeah, good morning.
Otherwise, identify whom you are asking the question.
Yes, yes. My question goes to Mr. Ramesh Kumar regarding individual and collective capabilities, how to boost them. And you mentioned that PPP may or may not be the solution via education, of course. I'm a health professional. I was expecting some talks and presentations on health, but unfortunately, there are no health papers presented today. But yes, education and health are like very well related to human development. So something like social transformation through education, through PPP. So.
Thank you, sir. I think your question is regarding individual capabilities and collective capabilities, and how to emphasize collective capabilities in health